There we've got everyone. So I'm now live on YouTube. Thank fuck for that. With affluent parts of Pollock Shields and entrenched poverty in the Gorbals. Yeah. And Govan Hill. I keep on forgetting Govan Hill exists. It's one of the most deprived areas of Glasgow, with places like Govan Hill and other parts of the south side just as deprived as here. I will say Springburn because it covers enough. It gives me a sort of shield, essentially, of where I am. Yeah, we're really deprived up here. We need the funding. Some of the housing here is still whack. It needs fixed. Yes. Oh, chat. Vote green. Vote green. The introduction of the Langside ward bolsters the number of better-off voters, middle class essentially, because Kings Park, Battlefield and Langside enjoy somewhat higher income levels. Middle class and upper middle class essentially, so we're talking middle management essentially. Yeah. It's not clear that this makes any difference at all to the balance of power between the SNP and Labour. Yeah. But it probably does boost the Greens, who tend to perform best among progressively minded middle class voters. They've also got a lot of working class people here like me. I'm essentially educated and left wing, so that's why Scottish Greens for me. In the last council elections in 2022, the Greens took a healthy 28% of the first preference vote in Langside. So it's ranked choice 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. That's how you get your councillors here for Glasgow City Council. Which left them in a strong second place. Ooh, that's something to look out for next year. Nice one. YouTube. Ah, fuck. Thanks, Flow Snake. Around 4.5 points behind the SNP, which is decent, I guess. Langside will also make one of Scotland's most ethnically diverse constituencies a touch less diverse. Yeah. At the time of the 2022 census, 87% of the residents of Langside were white. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being white. You can't choose how you're born. But yeah, but some people are really white, if you get my meaning, get my drift. I'm white. I'm pale as fuck. You can see that. I don't class myself as middle class. I'm working class. My mum was a nurse and a midwife. As far as I'm concerned, that's working class. Both my sisters, working class jobs. My younger sister, a nurse. My middle sister worked in a trade union, then the TUC. Yeah, 87% of the residents in Langside were white, a much higher proportion than elsewhere in the south side. However, the impact of that shouldn't be overstated, because the main centres of the South Asian and Muslim communities have been mostly left unaffected by the boundary alteration. Cope. The Pollock Shields ward, which remains wholly within the constituency, is 35% non-white, 28% Asian, 24% Muslim, and 24% Muslim. The Southside Central ward, which is predominantly staying inside the seat, is 37% non-white, 26% Asian, and 22% Muslim. As many as 15% of the people in the two wards were born in Asia or the Middle East. Or Western Asia, if you wish. That adds up to a formidable Asian and Muslim segment, which could potentially play a decisive role if its voting patterns are distinctive due to anger over Labour inaction on Gaza. Labour inaction on the Gaza genocide, the invasion of Lebanon, and the attacks on Iran. The Green Party of England and Wales showed in Gorton and Denton by-election that Greens are perfectly capable of winning over the Muslim vote in certain circumstances. And quite a lot of circumstances. National, just saying. Thank God the journals are not mad. Correct, yes. Apparently he demanded the codes to do a preemptive, no, like an attack, an actual attack, not a defensive strike, an initial attack. You need to get he needs to get two other people. So that's why he's been firing generals left, right, and centre, because he can't get the nuclear codes. The Green Party of England and Wales showed in the Gorton and Denton by-election that Greens are perfectly capable of winning over the Muslim vote in certain circumstances. Fair enough. Crucially, in that case, they were ideally positioned as the most electorally credible pro-Palestine option available. Oh, good then. In Glasgow's south side, the same advantages held by the SNP are also held by the fact that Sturgeon's successor as candidate is the Minister for Equalities and incumbent MSP for Glasgow Kelvin. Kakaub Stewart, originally from Pakistan, she has spent much of her life in Pollock Shields. Nice one. The buzz around the challenge to Stewart posed by the Green candidate Holly Bruce should also be tempered by the fact that Greens were not the leading party in any of the constituency's wards in the 2022 council elections. Apart from their close second place in Langside, they were more than 8 points behind the SNP in Pollock Shields. Okay. Oh, God. Poor doggo. 8 points behind SNP and Pollock Shields, where they also trailed Labour by around a point. Okay. In Southside Central, there were 16 points. Fucking hell, that's quite a distance. There were 16 points behind the SNP and 13 behind Labour. Estimates from the 2021 Holyrood election suggest the Greens were only third on the list ballot within the new boundaries of the Southside seat, taking 90% of the vote compared to Labour's 21 and SNP's 42. Oh, why did you do that to yourself, Jim? Blair Witch Project sucks ass. I paid money to go and see that in the cinema. I don't know why. Right. He hates found footage things like Blair Witch, Cloverfield, and all those type of ones. Yeah, just ignore people when they say that about the Blair Witch Project. Just, nah, didn't bother. If you want recommendations, you know where to find me. Well done, Cacao, but looks like we're going to get the Equalities Minister back, which is good. I like Cacao. She's quite good. That's one of the seats that the Greens are challenging in for the constituency. If he wants the codes, he shouldn't keep flicking you to come at the map in the situation while I'm shouting back about Spidey. What's it, Keg's breath? Oh God, no. Whoops, wrong thing. That one. Oh, we're getting there. 10. We are 17 seats. Oh, Christ. Let's see. I think most of them were relatively simple, be straight up fights essentially. Fuck it. I've still family nannies. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Some refreshment. My niblet used to love the Twilight series. Then they grew up. Yes, Davinia. Mm. 2 years of Starmerism have likely killed Labour's hopes here. Annie's Land's pretty safe SNP territory. I know I came from this area. This is where my dad grew up. This is where my granny grew up as well. That's my dad's mum and dad. Hello, Colm Merrick. Glasgow Annie's Land was represented by the architect of devolution, Donald Dewar. Yeah. During his brief period as First Minister from 1999 to 2000, he had also been the Westminster MP for the same constituency since 1997, and prior to that, for the predecessor of Glasgow Garscaden, which is to the west of Annie's Land, going towards like Clydebank. All the way back to a by-election in 1978, fucking hell, that marked a turning point in Labour's fortunes against the SNP. I think you saw part of the second film with a friend. Ow! Yes, I can't. Can't seem to get comfy tonight. I don't know why. My arse keeps on going numb. Rather annoying. Oh yeah, they're fucking awesome. We're meant to get 3 of those, by the way. We never got the third one. Rather upsetting. But yeah, day watch and night watch are fucking awesome. Labour's surprisingly comfortable win in that by-election and in the Hamilton by-election of the same year was attributed to a newfound directness, or some might say hysteria, in painting the SNP as fuck off separatists. I hate this narrative so fucking much. Just because we want what's best for our country, we get called separatists and get equated to fucking terrorists as well. Yeah, I've not forgotten that, by the way, you bastards. We are not terrorists or separatists. We want independence. We want our own fucking country. We don't want to be tied to you bastards anymore. Because apparently you don't want what's best for us. And thus implying that we are not extremists. There's a well-known clip of Dewar addressing a public meeting during the campaign in which he predicted local voters would politely tell the SNP candidate to get lost. Fuck off, Donald. And you know, oh God. As if its opponents were an indecent force mingling in unwanted fashion among the good common folk. Yeah. That narrative is disgusting. And anyone who tries to perpetrate that is a despicable bastard. I know people praise Donald Dewar and everything, but you have to remember what these people are like. Some of the unionists, it's a bit more overt now, obviously, we can fucking see it. But back in the day, it was insidious. The mind boggles then as to what Dewar's honest reaction would have been to the current state of affairs in his former constituency. He'd probably be quite shocked. And across the city of Glasgow, in which a genuinely extremist force, one that paints immigrants in the city as strangers who should not be looked after in the same way as Indigenous Glaswegians, is now a major player in elections. The strategic response of the present-day Scottish Labour leadership is not to tackle extremism head-on in this way that they absurdly cosplayed as doing with the moderate centre-left SNP of the 70s, but instead to back off in fear of offending people who share Manfrog's views. Get wrecked, Manfrog. The Overton window has shifted far too much to the right because of that bastard. The most they can muster is to call reform noise or a distraction. You're pandering to them, which is needlessly getting in the way of Anna Sarwar's ambitions to be First Minister. That could be a dangerous game. It is a fucking dangerous game. There's every possibility that Labour are going to end up fucking fourth in this election. Get wrecked. Fucking deserved. Because the Westminster constituency of Glasgow West, the closest equivalent to the Holyrood seat of Annie's Land, saw Reform UK overtake the Tories in the 2024 general election to become the most popular right-wing party. Terrifying. What the fuck, Glasgow West? I'm trying to make out where the fuck he is. That's the Lincoln Heights. Oh, he's facing towards the cross. I know where he is now. I've been trying to figure out with this fucking photograph. I've figured out where he's standing. That pattern was replicated right across the board in the Glasgow constituencies, even though at that point Reform were still a way short of the levels of national popularity that they have now reached. Bollocks. I think there's two. Right. The polls show that Reform are a much more potent threat to Labour's vote than to the SNP's. Yeah. Meaning that if the SNP hold Annie's land in 2 weeks, Sauer's failure to face down Farage could be a significant contributory factor. The good news for Labour locally is that Glasgow West was their best performance in the city in 2024, both in terms of swing they achieved from the SNP, fucking 11%, and their margin of victory over the SNP, 16 points. The reasons for that can only be speculated about, but the area contains a strikingly polarised socio-economic mix, with affluent suburbs such as Jordan Hill existing side by side with severe poverty in places like Drumshanbo. The more deprived parts of Drumchapel aren't in that constituency. They're 3 miles from where that candidate is standing. No, 3. Yeah, it's about 2.5, 3 miles from where he's currently standing. Yeah, parts of Drumchapel are really quite deprived, and they're not in that constituency. It is possible that well-off voters were following the established practice of their counterparts in the neighbouring constituencies just outside the city's boundaries by voting for the party best placed to defeat the SNP. Anti-nationalist tactical voting is a way of life up here for some people because they just really don't like the SNP, and independence terrifies them. So they keep on voting for unionist bastard parties who do not treat us with respect. While the most deprived voters may simply have been particularly likely to go home to Labour, I don't know why they treat us like crap. The former phenomenon is highly likely to be seen again at the Holyrood election in 2 weeks. But a repeat of the latter is much more doubtful after the disappointing experience of 2 years of Sturmerism. Oh God, Bill Kidd. Hello, Bill Kidd. There is a relatively small adjustment of the Annisland constituency's boundaries taking place, with Thornwood coming in and Claythorne being removed. So they've shifted about half a mile into that bit. Lower middle class people, essentially, in that bit. Yeah. Oh, thank you for being here, Flo Snake. Stay hydrated. Self-care is good care. Take your meds. Stay based. Free Palestine. And laugh at Anna Sarwar because finishing fourth. Good night, Flo. I will catch you later. Bye-bye. There was a relatively small adjustment of the Annisland constituency boundaries taking place, with Thornwood coming in and Claythorne being out, so they've brought it in a bit and extended it a little bit south and west. Taking in lower middle class area, essentially. And a cracking pub. That is thought to have very slightly strengthened the SNP's position. Yeah. With estimates suggesting their lead over Labour in the constituency in 2021 would have increased from 20 to 21 points. That's not much. Oh, you're welcome, Flo Snake. 21 points is still healthy. That leaves Labour needing to get within 5 points of the SNP nationally. No. if they're to gain the seat on a uniform swing, ain't gonna happen. Current polls show them falling well short of that. Yeah. Although the SNP's new candidate, Colin Merrick, who is replacing the incumbent Bill Kidd, bye Bill, will still need to be slightly wary of the danger of a higher than average local swing. It probably won't be that much. It probably won't be much of a swing from SNP to Labour. Let's see, taking in that bits of that bits and the main part of Bannisland and that there. 6 points. I would guess, if anyone can remember the fuck, I'll write it down. Give me a minute. Notepad. Pencil. Whoops. Oh. Ice cream. Pencil. Pencil. Pencil, go there. There we go. I've written it down. So I'm guessing a swing of 6 points from the SNP to Labour in this seat. Oh my God, my one. The one I am now living in is new. It is new. Bye, Bill. We're losing a lot from all the parties. A lot of them are stepping aside. Some for not for being knackered or anything. Bill's been in the game for fucking years. He probably is knackered. And I didn't blame him. But a lot of the younger ones, for reasons that I don't want to say, because the person who I'd be saying them about, the people who I'd be saying this about, they don't have a right of reply or they can't agree with me with what I'm saying. Maybe we could get Bryson to do that for us. The reason a lot of them are stepping down. Kate Forbes is leaving. She's made this public. She's stepping away from politics and going back home. She's Western Isles, essentially. She was a good finance minister. I liked her. Thought she'd done well. Her social policies, her social attitude, essentially, a bit grim. Especially for someone who's part of the rainbow. Let's see. Fuck it. Let's cover the western half of what used to be my seat, what used to be my constituency. Straight up fight between. No. Okay, right. Oh, right. The last drop was half an hour ago. That's fine. So yeah. It's a straight up fight between SNP and Green. The other half of the constituency. So parts of this used to be in the constituency that I live in, but it's not now. It's been chopped in half. And it's been extended where I now live to the east, to Easterhouse. So this is taking in a lot of the West End, essentially. Oh wow! This is Kelvin Grove Museum and Art Gallery. Hello, Kelvin Grove. The territory of the old Glasgow Kelvin seat, which has existed in one form or another since the Scottish Parliament's creation in 99, is being divided between no fewer than 4 constituencies. It's mad. And yet the SNP's incumbent, Cacao Stewart, we just saw her in the picture there, isn't standing in any of them. The sheer scale of the boundary revision in Glasgow triggered a complex game of musical chairs among the party's MSPs and other budding candidates. And Stewart opted to resolve part of the problem by running in the new version of Glasgow's South Side, basically taking over from Nicola's constituency, essentially, which does not overlap with her current constituency at all. It's about a mile and a half to 2 miles away from the one she used to represent. Glasgow Kelvin and Maryhill, which is the closest thing there is to a direct successor to Kelvin, on its back at its west end, down a bit from the Maryhill part, essentially. Bloody cold tonight. Apparently, I don't know how, apparently it is 14 degrees here in Glasgow right now. Make it make sense, chat. That's just weird for like 1 a.m. It's getting up to 19 degrees today, 20 degrees here in Glasgow. Global warming's fun. It's pissing Super Hubby off. He hates the hot weather. 4 degrees. Oh God, that's a bit chilly. Make sure you're wrapped up warm, my dear. I don't want you getting cold. Right, will instead be contested for the SNP by Bob Doris, my former MSP, who for the last decade has been MSP for the Maryhill segment of the new constituency. Yeah. Have to yeah. Oh God, Mr. E, I would urge you, if you can, to go green for your list. No pressure. You don't need to listen to me at all. If it won't dox you or anything, put in, if it's on that list, put in what constituency you're in, and we can read it. But if there's a real victim of the musical chairs, it's arguably the Scottish Green Party, because Glasgow Kelvin's former boundaries were demographically ideal for them. The constituency was to a large extent middle class, cosmopolitan, and very youthful due to the inclusion of all 3 of the city's main universities, Glasgow, Strathclyde, and Caledonian. No. The halls of residence for all 3, yes, but not the unis. I didn't think we extended as far down as Cali. I knew it covered my university, so I went to Strathclyde, by the way. And I thought Glasgow was in another I thought that Glasgow Uni was in another constituency from ours, like the next one, just slightly to the south of this. That'd be weird. Look, the boundaries weren't that like that. I never covered Glasgow. Hmm. Uh, there are many places, but here is one where the split doesn't work. Oh, okay, right. No problem, mystery. In both 2016 and 2021, the former Green co-leader Patrick Harvey, Praiseby-based individual, tried his luck as a candidate on the constituency ballot and finished a strong second to the SNP with around 1/4 of the votes. He got damn close, in my opinion. Nearly got him as a constituency MSP, which would have been fucking awesome. Now that opinion polls are implying Green support has risen somewhat across the country, unchanged boundaries could have left the party with a sporting chance of pushing for outright victory in the seat this year. But instead, the local government ward of Anderston City in York Hill, oh God, containing the city centre, a vibrant, multi-ethnic and multicultural population, and 2 of the 3 universities has been transferred to New Glasgow Central. So the two universities that will be in Glasgow Central is my alma mater, Strathclyde, and Glasgow Caledonian, which are just down the road from me. Down there, down that way. Still left within Glasgow, Kelvin, and Maryhill is the city's major student central zone of Hillhead. Yeah. Adjacent to Glasgow Uni. Not adjacent. You have to. The actual university itself is about a 10-minute walk from this student zone. Up a slight hill, or depending on what way you come from it, down a slight hill, or across and slightly up a hill. The West End is weird to see. Right, where the Greens have thrived in local council elections in recent times. Correct. However, by extending so far northwards into Maryhill and the surrounding areas, which include significant zones of deprivation, Brookhill, the constituency now takes in an entire council ward where the Greens picked up just 12% in both 2022 council and 2024 by-election. Indeed, in the latter contest, they slipped into 4th, ouch, behind Reform. It is estimated that, even on the list, the Green would have been in 3rd place in the new constituency at the 2021 election. A full 21 points behind the SNP. Fucking hell. Even if all Green list voters could be relied upon to start backing the party on the constituency ballot, which is not the case, that may still underestimate the extent of the deficit because the SNP invariably perform better on the constituency vote. I think it's going to be a safe way. I love Iris. I really want her to become the MSP for Maryhill and Kelvin. I do. I really do. But I think Bob's going to win. Sorry, Iris, my dear. The Greens are also hampered by Patrick Harvey's decision to only stand on the list this year. His replacement as a constituency candidate is Iris Duane, who stood at the 2024 UK general election and is well known to Scottish political obsessive, but will be much less familiar. Scottish political obsessives? National, what the fuck, man? Who do you think reads your paper? Know your demographic. But will be much less familiar to the general public than Harvey was. Yeah. A good result for her might be to simply emulate Harvey by finishing a strong second, and both of the MRP projections of last week suggest she has a chance of achieving that. Find Out Now had her tied with Labour for second place, while YouGov had her 9 points clear of Labour. Oh, thank you, Mr. E. Stay hydrated. Self-care is good care. Get some sleep. Take your meds if you need to take any. Stay based. Free Palestine. And I will catch you later. Good night. I hope you have a good sleep. And I will catch you later on, Mr. E. Of that, her finishing in second and 9 or 10 points ahead of fucking whatever Labour. Oh my God. No, he's running here. I don't know what one they're putting in Glasgow, Kelvin, Maryhill. I can't remember. Fuck. The prospect of yes supporting parties once again taking both first and second place represents a considerable achievement for the independence movement. Tell that to Westminster. Because in a parallel universe, this is exactly the sort of location that could easily have evolved into a Lib Dem fortress. It hasn't. Thank fuck. Somewhat akin to Alex Cole Hamilton's patch in Western Edinburgh, the old Glasgow Hillhead constituency at Westminster was formerly Tory, but with Liberal leanings. It elected Roy Jenkins of the SDLP, SDP Liberal Alliance, as its MP in both 82 by-election and 1983 general election. And even as late as 1992, the Lib Dems were still a strong second place. Fuck knows wrong. By the way, Galloway was Hillhead. But of course, what makes this part of Glasgow so radically different from the west of Edinburgh is that it actually voted in favour of independence. Based. The Glasgow Kelvin constituency broke for yes by a margin of 52 to 48. Nice one. That leaves the Lib Dems surplus to requirements in modern times. And they barely even troubled the scorer locally in 2021. Yeah. Barring a major Labour recovery nationally, composure, lass, please. Glasgow Kelvin and Maryhill look set to stay true to its constitutional preference by electing pro-independence MSP, and that person is likely, albeit not certain, to be Bob Doris. More than likely. Don't get me wrong, I want Iris to win this seat, I really do. But yeah, the more working class areas that are part of this seat, which is up a bit, is coming towards me. Like parts of Rockhill and Maryhill are kind of deprived, mostly working class area. And yeah, they want independence, very pro independence, very pro SNP. They might have trouble with some of our policy positions in the Greens. We just need to educate, we just need to reach out more, I guess, and explain how these things are affecting everyone in our day-to-day lives, and how there are ways to mitigate those things or to radically make them better. Momentito. Dear God, your lass's legs are kind of fucked. Ta-da! Well, that's better. Stretch my legs out now. Oh, fuck for that. Right. What is wrong with you? Why you no work? Right, my throat is starting to feel a little bit ow. I've covered I've covered the main ones that I usually work in, operate in: shop in, visit, blah blah blah. Especially the Kelvin and Mary Hill ward. We go to the West End a fair bit, where there's really good shops. There is ethnic shops, and I like to get there's Asian ingredients that I want to put into our dishes, and there is 3 shops we can get to in the West End that we can get the stuff for them. Do 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 do. Ha ha! Bring it. I haven't brought up my actual Twitter. Oh, those. Please feel free to subscribe to the Twitch. I will read out your bits message, not too grist. Anything funny about politicians is probably. I am not yet monetized on the YouTubes because YouTube. Let's see if we can find anything connected to the Holyrood elections up here. We can be guaranteed with something else, like people. Oh God, I've got it muted, haven't I? Whoops. Back to the beginning. Bloodbath. Ha 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 ha. Electoral bloodbath. No violence, please, anyone. I beg of you. So, electorally malkied. The Scots in the audience will know what I mean. They're gonna get a kicking. Deserved. Would you look at it? Look at it. Oof. Losing 1,738 seats. They're going to lose control of councils. That is delightful. really bad that this is happening now, right now? People in the media, the like hacks and journal wankery like that, and possibly civil servants who don't like what's happening and them getting the blame for some shit, they might be leaking to the press. No, this is calculated. I'm sure someone's orchestrated this happening right now. That's just my own crack theory there. Do not give it any fucking heed. Take a massive amount of salt with that, because it's just my theory. But it seemed, it's not a coincidence. That's no. This all seems very, maybe not completely orchestrated, but definitely planned into a certain, after a fashion at least, in my opinion again. But yeah, this has been done. Someone's let something slip to the press, and the press, once they got the bone, they're going to just fucking run with it and just hit up everyone do some proper investigating. And this is all getting reported now, just in time. No problem, my dear. Right. No, 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 no. Da-da. Will the Green Party destroy London's Labour mafia? That's quite a headline. Fuck it. Much better. Uh, oh, there we go. It's probably Sorcerer. Does start with an S. Okay. Ooh, lagging. Nice one. Oh, look at it. We've got Liz Saville Roberts for Plaid Cymru, and we've got Dr. Ellie for the Greens. Oh my God, is that the man? Look, Jam Man in the corner. Hi, Gerald. Hi, Jezza. Couple of Lib Dems. None of the reform wankery. Where the fuck are they? Fired twice. Fired. They seem to be saying resign. No, 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 no. Bad press, bad media. You're sacked. Gordon Brown didn't like him. Had to be fired twice. This is all just Labour Together's doing, by the way. I have no idea if Max is married or not. He wasn't debanked. He wasn't blocked from opening an account. He was relegated, if you wish to use football parlance. So footballification of politics continues, just like James would want us to do. Get right, James. So yeah, he didn't get debanked. The account that he had, there are certain limits. You have to pay this amount in. You have to open it with this amount. You have to pay in from certain things. So there's a minimum level that you have to pay into that type of account to maintain it, so you still have access to it. And he slipped below that threshold, that level, and he became a pro like the rest of us, to use just a normal current account. And he started shouting and swearing, "I've been debunked, I've been blocked, blah blah blah." No, you haven't. There are certain things, certain conditions to get that kind of bank account, Nigel, and you dropped below them. Quit your whining. Debanked, behave yourself. Yeah. Still certain requirements for the account that he did get, that he dropped down to. By the way, he's back up now to that account that he said he got blocked or debanked for. He said, no, you have to put in a certain amount of money. You have to do certain things to maintain that account. I don't get access to that account. I don't make millions. I don't pay millions into a bank account. I pay like a few hundred a month for my benefit. And something between like 60 and £100 from my Twitch payout a month. Better than a kick in the teeth. I'm nowhere near those kind of bank accounts. Your return. Hello, my dear. Welcome back. Tuesday for me. Tuesday. Good point, Omaha. Yeah. I don't like meritocracy. Because the people above Star in the shadows ordered him to appoint Mandy. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, uh, 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, essentially. Months ago. Fuck it. Let's look at this one. No. They needed the Libans was God Almighty. Look at it. Stop now. Rejoice, comrades. Stop chat. Hello. Oh look, something changed between here and the S&P have been rising. Yes. I did indeed, yeah. You're right. We can talk about that later if you want. Okay. Yeah, the first two Holyrood administrations were Labour Lib Dem because they couldn't get to the fucking majority. We were starting to get pissed off and we're starting to get fed up with them, really. So they got, hang on if I can work this out, like 50, then they dropped down to 38, and they needed the Lib Dems who were just enough to get them over the line. Yeah. All right. Mm. So what? Separatists. We were our own country before the union of the parliaments and union of the crowns. Separatists is kind of badass. Yeah, but what they mean by separatists, they mean terrorists, extremists. People to be shunned, reviled. Yeah. Are they, are they looking at the same? No. Daily Record, you're whack. That stone was up here first. And it's meant to go back, sure, is where it's sat. It's in the museum in Edinburgh. Yeah, a lot there is adjacent people essentially. That we're doing some sort of ban. It's not that difficult to understand. Yeah, yeah. Back as well. Sorry about that. I do apologise much profusely. Yes, ghoulish bastard. And Patrick, it's not that anymore. It's Ross and Gillian. They won the election. I voted for both of them. It feels so good to get what you vote for, what to get what you voted for. It's brilliant. Love it. I love Ross and Gillian. They're doing a fantastic job of reaching out and inspiring the Scottish electorate. Love to see it. Love to see it. Hang on a minute while I put on my socks. My tootsies are getting cold. I don't know how though. For anyone interested, Raynaud's phenomenon. If you can make sense of it, please come back and tell me how. Do. Fuck it, man frog. Let's see what the wank has to say, shall we? And not when ballot has been cast. We're up to 6, by the way, of their candidates. Because of this fucking man frog, the Overton window here in the UK has shifted decidedly to the right. I am pissed off. Obviously, I'm going to be pissed off no matter what, but Marxist and eco-socialist. Yes, so far from me, it is unbelievable. Yeah. Fucking con artist. He's a Thatcher. He's a neo-lib or a neocon. And some of the candidates they've been putting in place up here, neocons. Not quite white supremacists, but damn fucking close to it. We do not usually breed these kinds of people, for fuck's sake. This is what happens when neo-lib, like your centrist or the centre-right sort of parties, get scared and they start chasing these people because they're seen as an electoral threat. They see the numbers growing in favour of these kind of policies that this creature proposes. Then it's just a race to the right. Rages me till the end how he's managed to make people vote for me. Yeah. Fucking yeah. I will shout it from the rooftops. This man is a fucking Thatcherite. He loved the mini budget. He wants to take away the NHS. He's a despicable snake oil salesman who should not be involved in our politics. Just point. Fuck off, Nigel. English imperialist. Yeah. Of course he wasn't going to put himself forward for a seat, any constituency up here in Scotland. Most of us don't fucking like the bastard. Be a quick and easy way not to get any representation at all. Or you're feeling slightly. He more than likely still supports independence. He was in the SNP for decades. I feel for you, my dude. I really do. Fuck it. Let's check him out. Grado goes to Holyrood. Hopefully that'll get me straight to him. Grado goes to Holyrood. It's a top result. Uh, view the list. View the playlist. Let's see how long this is. 48 minutes. Where's he also Finley? Oh, there's there. I don't like his policies. I despise his party. You have to remember Scottish Conservative and Unionist Party. There should be no such thing as the United Kingdom, as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure he's a delightful human being, I guess. But he's a Tory. Fucking hell. Davinia. Yeah. Round of applause for Davinia. Fucking hell. Yes, he is. A Scottish lister. STV for anyone that's interested. Yeah, he was a journalist, a correspondent. So yeah, he was part of the mainstream media. Explains a lot about his stances, the policy proposals he puts forward. Okay, right. Acid attack on right. He's a journalist. Fine. He covered crime and things of that nature, especially organised crime. I went and checked. Okay, bad, not good. Poor wee lass getting exposed to that, seeing her dad getting attacked like that. I feel for the wee lassie, and his eye does look kind of, depending on what acid it was, yeah, get it cleaned off quickly. Now, if it was hydrofluoric acid, it would have melted his skin quite quickly. But getting your hands on hydrofluoric acid is rather difficult. The easiest one to get is technically we ingest vinegar. Technically we ingest an acid, vinegar. But the one more likely that it's easier to get your hands on is hydrochloric, which is the stomach acid. That's our stomach acid essentially. So hydrofluoric or sulfuric acid are difficult to get your hands on because they're fucking deeply dangerous. Carboxylic maybe. That would do more damage inside than out. Right, I feel for it. Right, Russell. Right, okay. I'll park your politics aside for a minute here. Not good. As attack, going through that, writing about it, saying what happened and shit like that, going through the whole process. Yeah, but it's parties like yours that have defunded the country. Ours, the criminal justice system isn't as bogged down up here. Don't get me wrong; it still needs to move a little bit faster. There's still some fixes that can be made to how some legislation is needed in certain areas. They wanted to get rid of corroboration for certain violent attacks on people, sexual attacks, essentially. Alehan, hello. SNP 68, Greens 18, fucking yes. Reform 15, Labour 10, Lib Dem 10, Tories down to the 8. Oh, Russell. Oh, it's the health site. Stats for lefties. Thank you, Alihon. Thank you. I like that. I like that. Pro ND seats 86. Get in there. Loving it. Because Stephen Presley is a realist. He knows exactly what he had to work with. Oh well. Certain football teams are a poison chalice. No one wants that fucking job. And I didn't blame them. Mm. Hi, Alia. You said it, Russell, no me. Your party is populated by ghouls, villains and ghouls and other right-wing assorted fuckwittery, especially down in Westminster. You're mostly all neo-libs. Some of you are fucking neocon, far to the right of where I sit on the political spectrum. Just neo. The policies that your party promotes, either up here in Scotland or UK wide, no, hate them. Horrible policies. Get fucked. We did used to vote Tories in back in the 50s here in Glasgow. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah. That Reza, I feel for you. I really do. Ugh. At least Newcastle and Southfields showing the way. You just need to point at the 10 councils they already run. They're a fucking clown show. Yeah. Parkours.
I'm not sure who that is, Talia. Mudded, your minister. Yeah, he's never going to be First Minister. I am lagging here. I do apologise, Parkhorse and Talia. I'm going to have to raid out, I think. My back's not doing too good, and my feet have swelled up to epic proportions again. They're an absolute fucking mess. I'm going to have to see if I can get the swelling down in my feet. I'm so sorry. I'll be back. Is it really good news? Nice. I'll look him up. Thank you for telling me. Much appreciated, my dear. Oh God, look at the pause face I've put on Grado. Christ. Yeah, let's read out. I'm kind of lagging here. I do apologise. I'm sorry, everyone. I tried to get to the 3 hours each night. Boom. Raid channel. Could maybe go and do some clout chasing, and is that the leftist mafia? It's the majority of them. We might do some clout chasing. Oh, Nichols is going. So's Jester. Oh, Red's going. Oh, thanks. Thank you, Talia. Much appreciated. Let's go and say hi to Red, shall we? We'll leave the clout chasing for another night. Red Rust. Oh, what the hell? Oh! Yay! Pop up. Targesh is going as well. Another half hour left.